Hello everyone, welcome to SS Multimedia. This is Harshita Shishala, and in this lesson we'll be learning how to divide multiples of 10 and 100. The objective of today's lesson is learning and understanding how to divide numbers that are multiples of 10 and 100. For example, we'll learn how to divide 200 by 10 very easily, or 360 divided by 12, or 120 easily instead of actually dividing it. Now, let's start off with the first example. So the first example is 2400 divided by 2. So I'll be showing you guys two methods, but for the first example I can't show the second method, so I'll just show you the first method. And later on, for the second question and the third question, I'll show you how to do the second method and the first method. Okay, let's start. So 2400 divided by 2. Let's simplify this. What does 2400 also equal to? So 2400 also equals to 24 times 100. And then 2 equals to 2 times 1. Now, we're going to put a fraction bar like this. And 2 over 3 equals to 2 divided by 3. So that's why I'm putting the fraction bar. Okay, now all we do is simply simplify it. Okay, so we do 24 divided by 2 first, then 100 divided by 1, then we multiply it together. So 24 divided by 2, let's do it over here. 2 goes into 2 once, and then 2 goes into 4 2 times. So this would be 4, and our remainder actually is 0. So our answer for 24 divided by 2 is 12. And then 100 divided by 1 is 100. So then we do 12 times 100. 12 times 100 is 1200, and that is our answer for the first question. Now, let's do the second question with both the methods. I'm going to do the first method, so this method first, and then I'm going to do the second I'm going to show you the second method later. So 360 divided by 30. 360 also equals 36 times 10. And 30 also equals to 3 times 10. Now, then you put a fraction bar and then you separate it using lines. So you can just put it like this, or you can just box it like I do. Now, you solve it. 36 divided by 3 is, let's see, 36, okay. And then, wait. So 36 divided by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. And 3 goes into 6 2 times with no remainder. So our answer for this 36 divided by 3 is 12, and 10 divided by 10 is 1. So we do 12 times 1. 12 times 1 is 12, so that will be our answer for the second question. But before I write it over here, I'm just gonna show you the second method. I'm just gonna write first here, and then second method. So the second method is pretty simple, and I'll explain you why I couldn't do it for the first question. So the second method is basically canceling the zeros, or crossing out the zeros. 360 divided by 30. So I'm just going to write that over here. Now, how many zeros do we have in the dividend, or this? We have 1. And how many zeros do we have in 360? Well, we have 1 too. So we can just cancel out these zeros. And now we have our answer. Actually, we just made it simpler. Now all we have to do is do 36 divided by 3. What if we have like 3600 divided by 30? Well, even for that, you can use this method. So how many zeros are there in the first one? This part, there are two, and then what about in 30? Well, there's one. So you just cancel out the same amount of zeros there are. So if there are no more zeros, like there aren't in here, we just leave it like that. So our new equation, our new problem would be 360 divided by 3. Anyway, so we have to do 36 divided by 3 now. So 36 divided by 3, like we did it before, it's 12. So our answer is 12. And I personally think the second method is easier, but it's your choice. You decide. And now, let's go to the third problem. And for the third, I'm just gonna write the second question and the third question under here so that we have enough space to do both the methods. So I'm just gonna write over here. So the third question says 84,000 divided by 3,000. And is that right? Yes, it is. So now let's use the first method, which is 8. We just simplify it. 84,000 equals 84 times 1,000. So I'm just going to write that. And then 3,000 equals 3 times 1,000. Now you put a fraction bar. Now I'm going to do this. Actually, I'm going to box it. I think you should box it because it's much easier to tell it. Now 84 divided by 3. I'm going to do it here. So 3 goes into 8 two times. And then we'll have a remainder of 2. And then we drop this. 3 goes into 24 8 times. And with no remainder, so our answer for this part is 28. And now, what is 1,000 divided by 1,000? Well, it's 1. And I'm going to show you another way to do it. So we can just cancel out these zeros. And we'll find out that it's 1 divided by 1, which is 1. So I'm just mixing the second method with the first method. But I'm going to show you how to do this question with the second method. So 1 divided by 1 is 1, and 28 times 1 is 28. So that was the first method. Now I'm going to show you the second method over here. So I'm going to write down the question, 84,000 divided by 3,000. So you can do it like this, you can write it like this, or you can write it this way, so like a fraction, which will be easier too. I'm just going to change my color, and now we can start crossing out the zeros. So first cross out the top one and then the bottom one. So first I cancel out the top, now I cancel out the 0. Then I do this, then I cancel out the bottom 0. Then I cancel out the top 0, now the bottom 0. And make sure you cross out the same number of zeros. Some people might let's say some people might cross out 2 zeros on the top and then 3 zeros on the bottom. And that will give you a totally different answer and it's going to be wrong. Okay? Now we do 84 divided by 3. As you know, few seconds ago, in the first method, we just did 84 divided by 3 and we found out that it's 28. So our answer is 28. No matter which method you do, the answer is going to stay the same and the answer should stay the same. Now let's do a word problem. So I'm going to read out the word problem. It says, Hannah baked 2,400 cookies to sell. She packed them into boxes. Each box has 120 cookies. How many boxes did Hannah use in all? So we know that this is a division problem because it says there are 120 cookies in each box and they gave us the total. And now they're asking how many boxes we need to use. So 2,400 cookies is the total, and then 120 cookies is the number of cookies in each box. Now we need to find out how many boxes she used in all. So how many boxes did she need to pack 2,400 cookies? So we have to do 2,400 divided by 120. So let's start off with the first method. So the first method says 20. So what do we do in the first method? Well, let's go back. So the first method says that you have to simplify the problem like this, and then we solve it. So we do 24 times 100, and then put the bar, and then 12 times 10. Alright, now we use the boxes. Okay, now we solve it. 24 divided by 12 is 2, and then 100 divided by 10 is 10. So we can even cancel out these zeros, and we'll have 10 divided by 1, which is 10. So now we do 2 times 10, which is 20. So our answer for the first method is 20, and it should be the answer for the first question, for the word problem. Now let's do the second method now. So the second method, you basically do 2,400 divided by 120, cancel out the zeros, and 24 divided by 12 is 2, and 2 times 10 is 20. So I'm mixing up the first method and the second method to make it easier. So we now know that Hannah, I'm just going to erase that quickly so that I can write it properly. Hannah used 20 boxes in all. And I'm just going to underline it and just do that. Box it actually. It's easier to tell the answer that this is the answer. Now, it's problem time. You guys pause the video and try these questions on your own. Then come back and check your answers. I will assume that you paused the video and let's get started. So I'm gonna do this quickly. I'm not gonna explain it thoroughly. So the first question, I'm just gonna cancel out these zeros. Now 24 divided by 12 is 2, and 2 times 10 equals 20. Now, is that your answer? If it is, good job. If it isn't, keep trying. Now, the second question says 480 divided by 3. So I'm gonna do 48 divided by 3. So I'm just going to do it over here. So 3 and then 118. So we have no remainder and the answer is 16. Now you do 16 times 10 because we still have the 0 left. So 16 times 10 is 160. That should be our answer for the second question. Now let's do the third question. So we can cancel out the zeros, and 64 divided by 8 is 8. And I'm just gonna do this. Okay, now let's do the fourth question. So there's 1 0, so we cancel out this and this. We'll be left with 30 divided by 3. So 30 divided by 3 is 10. And that should be our answer for the fourth question. That was all for this video, guys. And please comment down below how many answers you got right. And thank you for watching. Like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe.